So how many of you guys have super sensitive kids? I'm talking about the kids that have really deep empathy and they're always, feeling for animals and feeling for plants. And in fact, I want to share a story that happened yesterday. So we were outside and I was trimming this beautiful smooth sumac. This is actually native where we live. It's pretty much native all across the US, and I would guess up into Canada and down in Mexico as well. And it's a beautiful plant, super hardy, grows in dry conditions, and it's beautiful. But it was growing out of where it needed to be growing out of, and I want it to grow tall, and so I was trimming all the small growth below. Well, this caused a huge problem for my 4-year-old, who just started sobbing and like, oh my gosh, Mom, nature, I love nature. Why do people ruin it? And if you cut it, will it still grow? Why do you want to kill it? All these things. And I felt so awful. But it needed to be trimmed, right? And so one thing, so I posted this on my Facebook page, and a lot of people made some great suggestions on how to turn this into a learning experience. And one of those was make something out of it. So make something medicinal or something food related out of the plant. And smooth sumac, turns out, has some really cool things that you can do with it, and it mainly has to do with the seeds. So let's see if I can pull up. These are old seeds from last winter that I am pulling off of the branch, and essentially people make it into a spice. They dry it out, they take the seed out, and they keep the husk, and that the round fruit part of the seed is what they use to make a spice, and it's very kind of citrus and lemony tasting. So we are going to do that pretty soon. But if you harvest these at the end of their actual growing season, so like at the end of fall, you can actually make a lemonade out of them, because they have a super acidic little hairs that grow on the seeds that people like to use to make lemonade. So we're not doing that today. Today we're making a spice. So it is just the beginning of June, and I'm collecting all of the old seeds from last year, and we're going to plant some in the backyard, but then we're going to use the rest of them to make a spice. And so here's the thing, these seeds are not really red, they're more of a rust kind of a color, and they're also not round. They look round, but they are kind of a flat round, if that makes sense. And then here is the plant. The plant has these long leaves. You can see the fruit clusters here. It's kind of, let me get something that's better in the sun so you can see kind of what that looks like. So when it comes to any kind of foraging, you have to make sure that you know exactly what the species is. There are a lot of species that kind of essentially mimic other species, and they can be poisonous, whereas some are not. So the good thing about sumac is that there is such a thing as poison sumac, but it's relatively rare compared to all the other species that aren't poisonous. But you always want to be careful. Never take anyone's word, never guess. Go out with a botanist and have them help you learn how to identify it. Go out with a local herbalist and have them help you identify it. All right, so we've got a lot of sumac here, and basically this has been sitting on the tree for a long time, since last summer, last fall. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna rinse them really, really well. I'm gonna rinse them on the branches. Then we're going to discard the water, because you can see it's already pretty dirty. And then we're gonna rinse them quite a few more times. And as we do this, obviously you can see they're starting to float to the top. Then we'll dry them out before we crush them and remove the seeds. So it'll be kind of a multi-step process. All right, so what we're doing now is we are just continuing to rinse the seeds. And we're probably gonna do this 5, 6, 7 times just to get them nice and clean until our water is nice and clear. And it's also helping us to get all the seeds off of the stems. And so what we're doing, because we're doing this so much, we figured we would just water the plants while we do it. So we get a strainer, obviously 2 people, at least it's easier with 2 people, and then we're gonna strain it out. And Con, you ready? Yep. Let's water this plant right here. Base right next to us, and they like to practice over our house with really big airplanes and with helicopters. All right, so we are making our sumac spice, and now it's time to try it, right? We want to try all this work that we've done. So we're gonna lick our finger, we're gonna stick it into the sumac spice, and we're gonna try it. All right, Callan, come over here.
Okay.
All right, don't vote on it just yet. Brad, go ahead and try it, baby. All right, thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumbs in the middle? Briar's voting yes. I'm voting, Callan's voting yes. What do you guys like about it?
That it tastes kind of like lemon.
Okay, tastes kind of lemony, which is cool. What do you like about it?
That I like the weirdness.
You like the weirdness? Yeah, to be honest, it's not super great, but it does give you a little bit of a citrusy flavor. So just FYI, if you get a packet of some sumac spice from us, just know we've been sticking our fingers in it. And it's delicious. Should we put it on some chicken tonight?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Hope you enjoy.